told me that she was at a club and a Mendeecees. He tried to holler at her.
Jessica White just did the unimaginable, and it's the controversy that's rocking the love and hip-hop world. She revealed private direct messages from Mendeecees Harris in an unexpected move, and let's just say Yandy is not pleased about it. Fans are in astonishment, the internet is on fire, and everyone is wondering what Yandy didn't want anyone to read in those texts. Jessica isn't holding back, and the industry is taking notice of the evidence she's revealing. Some claim it's karma coming full circle, while others call it betrayal. However, one thing is certain, this is going to completely alter Yandy and Mendeecees' lives. Are we seeing the start of the end for one of the most talked about couples on reality TV? Or is this story more complex than it first appears? As the truth eventually emerges, we'll be dissecting every detail, every shocking discovery, and every response, so stay tuned. What Yandy did next will leave you stunned, and you won't believe what Jessica revealed. For weeks, Jessica White had been keeping this information to herself while she watched, waited, and considered whether or not to reveal the truth. However, the internet went crazy when she did. Fans were left stunned as screenshots of DMs purportedly from Mendeecees Harris began to circulate like wildfire. The messages weren't merely lighthearted exchanges. They spoke to something more serious that would destroy the flawless facade Yandy and Mendeecees had been attempting to uphold. Not only did Jessica drop a bomb, but she also started a chain reaction that was impossible to stop. Social media went into overdrive as soon as she made the receipts public. In an attempt to put together what had actually been happening behind the scenes, people began analyzing each and every message in search of hints. Yandy, too. There was no sign of her. The reality celebrity, who usually had an answer for everything, had abruptly stopped talking. That quiet said a lot. Let's take a moment to go back in time. How did we end up here at all? Why did Jessica choose to criticize Mendeecees? Jessica had been holding her tongue for too long, according to people close to her. She had a gut feeling that something wasn't right because she had heard and seen things. However, she didn't realize she had indisputable evidence until she obtained the actual communications. She knew she couldn't remain silent any longer as soon as she saw them. Fans of love and hip-hop are aware that Mendeecees and Yandy's relationship has experienced many highs and lows. They survived everything from legal issues to infidelity rumors, or at least that's what they wanted everyone to think. However, Jessica's disclosures presented a different image. She claimed that these direct messages weren't merely casual conversations. Their enthusiasm and tone gave the impression that something considerably more significant had been happening. Fans began speculating as soon as the screenshots were posted online. Some others blindly trusted Jessica, claiming that Mendeecees will eventually be exposed. Others were less certain, accusing her of attempting to incite controversy in order to gain influence. However, Jessica had more to say than simply posting the messages and going silent. She addressed the matter head-on when she went live on Instagram. Her expression was serious, and her voice was stern but calm. She started, shaking her head, "I wasn't even going to do this. But what do you know? I'm worn out. I'm sick of seeing women taken advantage of, misled, and controlled. I didn't want to speak, but eventually the truth must be revealed." Her fans begged her to reveal all the information in the comments section. She also did. She described how she initially learned of the texts, how she privately confronted Mendeecees, and how his response just made matters worse. Jessica claims that rather than just rejecting everything, he attempted to minimize it. He is said to have told her, "It was nothing. Just a miscommunication." However, neither Jessica nor the crowd were buying it. Then came the unexpected turn of events. Jessica implied that Yandy was already aware of it. She stated in a mysterious way, this isn't news to her. That one sentence, "Trust me," drove the internet into a frenzy. Why hadn't Yandy spoken out if she was aware of the messages? Was she attempting to keep Mendeecees safe? Did she have another scandal to hide? Yandy's silence wasn't helping either as the questions continued to mount. Mendeecees, meanwhile, was nowhere to be seen. Complete radio silence, no answers, no remarks. And that simply exacerbated the situation. Before speaking up, some began to speculate that he was attempting to find out how to spin the situation. However, the harm was already done at this point. No amount of damage control could take away what Jessica had disclosed. The talks were taking place. The messages were out there. Old rumors about Mendeecees started to surface again as more and more individuals began to comment on the situation. Supporters uncovered past accusations, cheating scandals, and love and hip-hop occasions where Yandy appeared to be hiding something. One discovery sparked another, and before anyone could take it all in, they were the talk of the internet. It was like a domino effect. Jessica then dropped another bombshell, just when everyone thought things couldn't get much messier. Long before all of this was made public, she said, Mendeecees had also been in her direct messages. This time, she didn't include screenshots, but she wasn't required to. The insinuation alone was enough to cause social media to go crazy. If accurate, this was a game changer. It implied that Mendeecees had been engaging in a risky game that was now backfiring on him. But where Yandy was in all of this was still the actual mystery. Why hadn't she dealt with the matter? Some conjectured that she was attempting to determine her next course of action. Others thought she was only trying to keep the drama from receiving additional attention. One thing was certain, though, she couldn't remain mute indefinitely. She would eventually have to react to the mounting pressure. Then, as everyone began to question if Yandy would act as though this had never occurred, an unforeseen event occurred. 3 simple words surfaced in a mysterious post on her Instagram story. I see everything. Just that, with no context or explanation. As soon as possible, fans began to speculate about its meaning. Was Jessica being called out? Did she recognize the messages? Or was this merely her method of warning others that she wouldn't be duped? If there was one thing that everyone knew about Yandy and Mendeecees, it was that their narrative was far from ended and the drama was only getting started. Jessica White's bombshell had already caused havoc on the internet, and Yandy Smith's evasive response only made matters worse. I see everything. She only shared that, yet threw fans into a frenzy. What was she trying to say? Was she acknowledging that she was aware of the messages from Mendeecees? Was she endorsing the rumors in silence? Or did this serve as a message to Jessica that she would not tolerate this? Individuals began poring over Yandy's social media accounts in an attempt to find any hints as to her true feelings. In an attempt to identify a trend, they examined her most recent posts, her favorite tweets, and even her earlier interviews. Then, someone observed that Yandy had unfollowed Mendeecees on Instagram in secret. Words could not express the impact of just one simple action. It was grabbed up by blogs within minutes. One headline said, YNDIUNFOLLOWS MENDECES Radio Ameliores. Difficulty in paradise? Someone else inquired. Supporters were certain that this was her method of expressing herself without speaking. However, why hadn't she spoken up explicitly if she was truly done with Mendeecees? Jessica, however, was not finished speaking. She went live once more, speaking directly to Yandy this time. Hey, I can tell she's observing. She sees everything, I know that. She shook her head and continued, but sis, you have to stop covering for him at some point. We both know that this isn't the first time and that it won't be the last. Jessica was not going to back down. She actually stepped up her accusations, saying Yandy had been ignoring Mendeecees' years-long behavior. Jessica claimed that she had no justification for lying. I didn't decide to start drama when I woke up one day. I made this public because I believe that women should no longer tolerate such behavior. No matter how long you have known someone, you must eventually leave them if they continue to disgrace you. The comment section went crazy. Jessica was commended by some followers for speaking up and for taking the necessary action. She was accused of being disorderly and attempting to destroy Yandy's family by others. Whichever side people took, one thing was certain, this issue was not going away very soon. Mendeecees, meanwhile, remained quiet. Nothing, no replies, no posts. Some conjectured that he was attempting to weather the storm in the hopes that it would pass. Others said he was frantically attempting damage control behind the scenes. However, it appeared worse for him the longer he remained silent. Then a voice memo suddenly leaked. A brief, shaky audio clip purportedly showing Mendeecees discussing the circumstances. Even though the video was brief, just a few seconds, it had a profound impact on social media. Man, I'm not even concerned about that girl. The voice, which was purportedly Mendeecees, added, she is merely seeking attention. The entire situation is foolish. Fans went nuts as soon as the audio was posted online. Some believed it was real, others thought it might have been altered, but either way, it added another element to the drama. He was completely rejecting Jessica's assertions if this was indeed Mendeecees. But why hadn't he made that public if it were true? Why was his sole answer a voice memo that was leaked? Naturally, Jessica did not take long to reply. "Oh, I simply want attention now," she remarked mockingly in a live follow-up. "I would have given everything I had if I had wanted attention. However, I didn't. I made enough of an effort for you all to realize the truth, and believe me, there is more out there." All it took to cause another internet meltdown was that. What else was she in possession of? Additional messages? Videos? Was she going to reveal more? People were dying of suspense, and Jessica knew precisely what she was doing. However, Yandy broke her quiet before she could say anything else. Nobody was prepared for what she had to say when she finally did. Yandy made an unexpected move by going live with a cool-headed attitude rather than a statement or rage. "Listen," she started, her tone controlled but forceful. "I know you all want me to come on here and cry and scream, but I'm not going to do that. Because in the end, I've been here before. I've experienced worse. Additionally, I will always conduct my business as I think fit." She made no attempt to verify or refute the messages. Jessica wasn't specifically called out by her. Rather, she made it apparent that she was handling the situation as she saw fit. She went on, "My life isn't controlled by the internet. Both blogs and comments are not addressed by me. I treat my family in the same manner. I have nothing more to say." Her delivery of her message was sufficient to cause everyone to doubt everything. Did she support Mendeecees? Did she imply inadvertently that the texts were authentic? Or did she simply want to save Jessica the gratification of a public outburst? Regardless of her motivation, her response just raised more queries, and a new twist appeared just when it appeared that things couldn't be much more difficult. Jessica shared another screenshot, this one showing her and a mutual friend having a conversation. Although the signals were ambiguous, they alluded to something more significant than direct messages. According to reports, the friend wrote, "You know this isn't the first time." There is a lot more to this tale. In an attempt to decipher its meaning, fans went into detective gear. Did this demonstrate that Mendeecees had been engaging in this behavior for years? Did other women participate? And, above all, did Yandy really know about it all? Tension was at an all-time high, and the internet was on fire. However, the most shocking revelation was still to come. Because Jessica had more to say. She was actually planning one more move that would elevate the whole issue to a new level. And there would be no turning back once she dropped it. Just when the internet thought it had seen everything, Jessica White decided to raise the drama up another notch. Although she had alluded to more where that came from, nobody was ready for what she was going to reveal next. Jessica shared something that shocked the internet late at night, when conversations about Yandy's answer were already rife on social media, a screen capture. It wasn't simply another text message screenshot. No, this was a full-fledged screen video of her browsing through her messages with Mendeecees. As she scrolled past the exact DMs she had previously leaked, fans held their breath, but then there it was, a fresh round of mails. These were more than a few amusing emoticons or suggestive texts. These texts made it obvious that Mendeecees wasn't merely chatting casually with Jessica, they hinted at something much more serious. He seems to have promised things. Promises that may ruin everything he and Yandy had created if they were real. "You know how things are with me and her. I just need time to figure this out," said one purportedly Mendeecees message. "You already know how I feel about you," remarked another. "Keep this between us, please." Fans grabbed hold of those words right away. "Keep this between us." That sentence alone sent Twitter into a frenzy. Had Mendeecees been leading Jessica on while still keeping up his public relationship with Yandy? Did he try to balance two women at once? Jessica didn't say much in her caption. The post went viral in a matter of minutes when she simply posted, "I told you." Everyone was trying to piece together the true story by analyzing every detail of the messages in the shade rooms, gossip blogs, and Twitter threads. While some fans were convinced that Jessica was the real deal and that the proof was indisputable, others were more dubious and wondered why she was releasing all the evidence so gradually rather than all at once. Regardless of what people thought, there was one person whose response the world was waiting for, Yandy. Yandy remained silent for hours on end. No stories, no Instagram postings, no cryptic messages, and that stillness said a lot. Fans couldn't help but relate this incident to previous rumors about Mendeecees. Was she attempting to absorb things behind the scenes? Was she speaking to Mendeecees, trying to obtain the truth from him? Or was she just unwilling to give this problem any more energy? Although there had been rumors of adultery over the years, nothing had ever been proven, and Yandy had always supported her husband by denying the charges and putting on a brave face. This time it felt different because there was proof. Mendeecees himself finally broke his silence, but instead of going live or posting a statement, he did something unexpected. He posted a fuzzy, low-quality Instagram story with the single words, "Y'all believe anything." And not just broad allegations, actual communications. That was all. There was no denial or justification. He gave a vague rejection, but if he thought it would quiet things down, he was completely mistaken. Jessica quickly clapped back, going live again minutes after his post and grinning while staring straight into the camera. She remarked, "I love how people always want to act like the internet just makes stuff up. For example, did I text myself? Did I Photoshop an entire conversation? Did I screen record imaginary messages?" she asked. Before administering the actual blow, she waited to allow her words to sink in. "But you know what? Since you're claiming that people believe anything, how about I offer them something they can't deny? I'm not even angry with you. You're just doing what guys usually do, which is to lie until they can no longer lie." The comment section blew up. What is Cheetail Kaing Ebiotiti? What else does she possess? Before throwing another bombshell, Jessica waited for the tension to develop. "I wasn't even gonna do this," she began, shaking her head, "but since you want to play dumb, I guess it's time for the voice notes." Social media erupted in a frenzy as soon as she stated those words. Voice notes? People knew right away that this wasn't just another round of screenshots. If Jessica actually had voice recordings of Mendeecees, then he couldn't talk his way out of this. While screenshots and texts could be altered, voice recordings were something else entirely. The first tape was brief and only included Mendeecees' voice stating, "You already know how I feel about you." Fans were waiting impatiently, scarcely breathing, and glued to her live stream as she hit play. You only need to exercise patience. However, the second one was the one that went viral on the internet. A male voice, purportedly Mendeecees, could be heard giggling in the video. "Dude, Yandy is going crazy. She claims to know everything, but she has no idea. She believes I'm always on business calls. I'm talking to you all the time." That was all it needed. Within minutes, the blogs repeated it, the live chat went crazy, and Twitter was inundated with memes. One user tweeted, "Not Mendeecees clowning Yandy behind her back. If this is real, he is done." Jessica simply sat there and watched the chaos play out in real time. "I told y'all from the beginning, I don't lie," she said as she concluded her live stream, leaving the internet in ruins. The most important thing, though, was still how Yandy would react to this since, at this point, it was impossible to ignore or play it off. This was no longer simply a muddled rumor. The evidence was clear, and for Yandy, the world had finally seen the truth. However, just when everyone believed they had seen it all, Yandy did something unexpected, and what she did next would change everything. Fans bombarded Yandy's social media with comments, demanding a response as the internet exploded with reactions to the leaked voice notes. Everyone wanted to know if Yandy would finally admit the truth, defend Mendeecees, or deny it. She said nothing at all, no cryptic remarks, no Instagram posts, no dodgy song lyrics, and it really made matters worse because people anticipate damage control when a scandal like this occurs. They anticipate a response, but Yandy's quiet had fans wondering. Was she too shy to speak up, or was she holding off on saying anything until she had a private discussion with Mendeecees? Fans analyzed every word, trying to ascertain whether the audio was authentic. Some argued that the voice didn't sound exactly like Mendeecees, while others maintained that it was indisputable. Or was she just refusing to give Jessica the attention she desired? The blogs continued to put pressure on her, repeatedly reposting the leaked voice notes. Regardless of one's stance, however, it was evident that this was not going to end anytime soon. Eventually, Yandy took action and went live on Instagram. But instead of confronting the controversy head-on, she did something unexpected. The live began with a lengthy silence as she scanned through the comments, with people nearly pleading with her to speak, until she burst out laughing. She was sitting in her car, wearing sunglasses, and her face was inscrutable. She shook her head and said, "So, y'all really believe anything, huh?" That single statement sent shockwaves over the internet. Was she referring to the messages as fake? "Let me make something real clear," she said, leaning closer to the camera and adjusting her sunglasses. Was she implying that Jessica was lying, or was she simply attempting to appear unconcerned? My life is too fortunate for me to quarrel with those who are desperate for attention or to constantly go back and forth with those who wake up every day seeking influence. There was disagreement among fans in the comments, with some supporting her and stating that she was handling it with poise, while others weren't persuaded. Girl, is it fake or not? One person typed. Another joked, blink twice if you need help. In the end, I know the truth, Yandy added. People love to fabricate drama where none exists, and they love to twist narratives. And the truth always prevails. She then concluded the live stream without mentioning any particular aspect of the controversy. Unlike Yandy, Mendeecees wasn't going to sit back and let the internet run wild with theories. So he posted a video of himself on Instagram within an hour of Yandy's live performance. However, Mendeecees didn't confirm or deny anything, leaving everyone even more perplexed. I wasn't even going to say nothing, he began, sitting in his house and staring directly into the camera. Because honestly, this is so ridiculous. But since people want to play games, let's talk about it. First of all, those messages. Fake. Fans leaned in, eager for him to either confess or put an end to the rumors. He then addressed the voice notes, saying, I don't know who put that together, but you guys have to stop believing everything you see on the internet. It's straight up fake. Regarding that so-called recording, dude, anyone can modify a voice memo. Have you heard of artificial intelligence? Deepfakes. People are fabricating entire conversations to gain popularity. The internet didn't believe it. One remark read, Sir, do you want us to believe ChatGPT wrote your DMs? But Mendeecees wasn't finished, posting, and let's talk about this girl, Jessica. She's been trying to get clout off my name for years. Another admirer commented, this is the weakest excuse I've ever heard. Years have passed, and this is nothing new. She always manages to bring me up whenever she needs attention, which is now rather depressing. Naturally, Jessica clapped back right away. A few minutes after Mendeecees' video, she took to Instagram and said, gaslighting 101 when a man gets caught, he calls the woman crazy. She then sent a mysterious response, saying, you wouldn't have given me a stop and desist if I was lying. Play with me if you want to, because you know I got more. That final sentence ignited the internet. More voice notes, more texts. What else did she have? A VIDO. The conjecture was boundless. Fans were glued to their phones, waiting for the next episode of this drama to develop. Some insiders even claimed that Yandy and Mendeecees were having serious talks about their future, while behind the scenes, sources close to Yandy were reportedly telling blogs that she was deeply hurt, but handling things privately. According to one report, Yandy was considering her options, including whether to stay and fight for her family or to leave. However, Jessica released the biggest surprise yet just when everyone thought the story was coming to an end. She only shared one Instagram story. One sentence was displayed in white lettering on a black screen. I made an effort to be kind. Now though, go for it. Suddenly, the internet was in disarray once more. What was she trying to say? Would she reveal any more secrets? Would Yandy actually say something to end her silence? The most crucial question is, could Mendeecees withstand another round of receipts? There was no doubt that this story was far from over. There you have it. Secrets, drama, and an unrelenting controversy. We would like to hear from you now, though. Is this just another desperate attempt to gain influence, or do you believe Jessica is speaking the truth? And what about Yandy? Should she trust Mendeecees, or should she just leave now? This narrative is far from over, so please share your ideas in the comments section. You won't want to miss what comes next, I promise. You want to be the first to know when the next big story comes out, so make sure you're subscribed and have alerts turned on. If you enjoy the tea, please hit the like button. Tell your friends about it and keep checking back. This controversy is just getting started.